Hello! Tomorrow I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out, so I just wanted to see if I could get a video out of that. That means my husband is in charge of getting video of me talking all weird like. I am going to be sedated, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Anyways, I'm getting all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out tomorrow, and the reason is because I have one over here and it is a really bad cavity and it's starting to hurt a little bit, and that's like the whole reason why I'm getting this done now. My husband had his wisdom teeth taken out I think in December. I think it was in December, so it was relatively recently he had his taken out, so we already know what to expect and what's going to go on. And do I have a high pain tolerance? Probably not. I'm a whiner and a complainer, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to handle it. I'm just going to use like Tylenol and Advil. I'm going to not use the prescription stuff. Hopefully that'll be good enough and I'll be fine. Ugh, never had surgery before, so it's going to be an experience, and I really hope my husband is going to record me getting in the car afterwards. He can't go into the room with me. I couldn't go into the room with him because of COVID restrictions, so he has to wait for me to come out and get into the car. But hopefully he'll record something. I don't know. So yeah, I'll show you my cavity though. It's really bad looking. I'll show it to you though. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I will update you along the process of healing and stuff like that. Wish me luck. Okay, I had my dental appointment and I had some unexpected complications. I have been putting off this video because I'm just tired of explaining what happened to people, because they're like, hey, I thought you had your wisdom teeth taken out. Well, I kind of did. And this is going to be a very chatty video, which I was not anticipating. I was so excited to do this video, and it's just not going to turn out how I wanted it. I wanted this to be like a haha, she was under sedation and now she's saying funny things, but this is not what this video is going to be about. I do have some footage to show you of me coming out of sedation though, so stay tuned for that. I'm not good at chatty videos, and especially if there is a timeline, a linear timeline of events that have happened. So I'm just going to do my best to just tell the story in the right order of which it happened in. And I have some thoughts. I'm going to share. So I get put into the dentist chair. I'm guessing it's like a dental nurse or a dentist assistant. I'm not sure what their title is, but he was really good about putting my IV in, which I'll talk about later. But I'm sitting in the chair, the surgeon is nowhere to be found, and my husband said that he came in late. I don't know how late he was. He's coming up from the city, which is an hour away, and I'm sure there's construction, so I wasn't mad that he was late because that happens. However, the IV's in my hand and the sedation is going in. The surgeon comes in and says, we're only taking out one tooth. We're going to leave these ones in. We're only going to take out the one with the cavity, which I showed you earlier. And I was confused, and he's just like, yeah, there's just too much bone damage. And if we take them out, then the molars will end up falling out because there's not enough bone support to keep the molars in there. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what about this one? It's horizontal. And I thought that, you could get that one out. And he said, no, we're not taking that one out either. Like, okay, so I'm starting to get woozy at this point, and I have concerns that I need to discuss before he gets in there and starts taking out my tooth, okay? I never got the chance to discuss really anything with him. It's like 1 second I'm talking to him, and the next second I'm outside stumbling down the ramp to get to the car. There's no like dreamlike wooziness. I was out, blacked out. Just completely, they must have put me completely under. Now, the tooth in question that they removed was fully out of the gums. I don't even think they had to cut the gums or the bone to get it out. I think it was just a normal pull. So I didn't need a surgeon for that. The dentist could have done that. I didn't need sedation for that. All they had to do was numb my mouth. And that's the thing I wanted to talk to the surgeon about. Anytime I've had dental work done, fillings or whatever, the numbing didn't work the first time. You know, they'd come in, give you multiple shots, and then they'd walk out, wait for it to kick in, come in and start working on your teeth. Well, I would always have to have another round of shots because the first time it never numbed my face. And I was concerned about that, but I never got the chance to explain that issue because I was just immediately sedated and I wasn't able to ask any questions. And I wanted to continue the conversation I was having with the surgeon because I did not understand what was going on. Since this molar up here, it has a limited lifespan as it is. They wanted to do a crown on it. My insurance doesn't cover crowns, so I refused to do it because it would have been $1,500. Root canals and crowns, I don't believe in them. I feel like it's just a temporary fix, and I don't want to put that kind of money into a tooth that's going to have to be pulled in the future anyways. So if that was an issue for taking out the wisdom tooth, they could have just taken out the molar and the wisdom tooth. And since I would have been under sedation anyways, that would have been great just to get done at the same time as the other wisdom tooth. But I didn't get to have that discussion because I was sedated before I had a chance to discuss anything. Another issue I have, this has been scheduled for over a month. Almost 2 months I've had this scheduled. Why didn't the dentist look at my x-rays and say, hey, you have too much bone loss, we can't take these out? Why wasn't he able to see that on the x-rays and let me know? Or why wasn't my x-rays sent to the surgeon to let him know ahead of time that we won't be taking these ones out? There should have been a discussion here, and this is very annoying to me. So like I said, I remember having a discussion with the surgeon, and then all of a sudden I'm outside walking down the ramp to get to my car, which I barely remember, okay? I do remember stumbling a little bit, and the dental assistant or the nurse guy, he said something like, don't trip, and I said something along the lines of, I don't need drugs to trip, and I was just making a joke about being clumsy. And then I don't remember like almost falling, but I almost fell, and my husband and the nurse guy had to grab me to prevent me from like bashing my face into the car. We took my husband's Honda, which was my idea, and it's a lower car, so it's harder to get into. And he said, hey, that's low, be careful, or something like that, talking about the car being low. And I said something about me being low. And I was just trying to make a short joke. I was just joking about being short, but I don't think it came off that way. And then I really wish my husband got this on camera. I have no memory of this conversation at all. And it's the funniest thing, but it's not on camera. So I'm like mumbling to myself. And my husband's trying to figure out what I'm saying. And eventually he makes out what I'm saying. And I said, my sisters are ugly. My sisters are ugly. And he's like, your sisters are ugly? And I'm nodding my head yes. And he asks, which one? And I said both of them. Both of my sisters are apparently ugly. I really wish he had that on video because that's hysterical. And then on the way from the dentist office to the pharmacy, he did record all of that. But I wasn't funny. I didn't say anything funny. I was just having a normal conversation. So I do have a clip to show you at least, just to show you what I was like coming out of sedation. I look very ugly in these clips, by the way, so I don't want to show them, but I will, because that's what this video is about. And then I also took my own video while he was in the pharmacy getting my stuff. And, well, just watch it.
I don't think they even put shots in my mouth.
You don't think they put shots in your mouth?
Yeah, like the numbing shots. I don't think they did that.
Is your face numb?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, but it's not bad. Well, that was easy. They only took out this one tooth.
the other 3 teeth are fine. They're not going to bother with them. I feel a little weird. And, yeah, so my weekend's not going to be all that bad. I've had a tooth pulled before. It's not that big of a deal. I can handle that. I'm worried about swelling. I have no memory of them taking my tooth out. I have no memory of that. And now we're at the pharmacy getting my prescriptions. I'm sitting in the car because I am a klutz even without sedation. They tried putting it in my arm. I don't know if you can see that, but it didn't work because all my veins in my arm.
So I don't know why the video cut off like that. I wonder if I just lost consciousness maybe. I feel like maybe I dropped my phone and maybe I accidentally stopped recording. I'm not sure. But what I was trying to say is that my veins up here in my arm are too small and they can't get an IV there. So they had to put it in my hand. And this was a very important piece of information because from the dentist office to the pharmacy, I must have told my husband this information like 4 or 5 times. It's normal when you're coming out of sedation to repeat yourself. Usually, from what I hear, you'll just ask what time it is multiple times until your nurses get upset with you and be like, I just told you what time it was. But for me, the thing that I kept repeating was they couldn't put it in my arm, they had to put it in my hand. And yeah, I didn't say anything funny other than that. This is Aspen Dental that I went to. Every time I go there, I have problems. When my husband got his wisdom teeth taken out, he also had problems. So I'm not going to go back to this place. After the fact, I'm out of sedation. I'm fine. I can't drive all day, of course, so my husband has to drive me around. But he ended up telling me more information about my teeth that they told him when they were putting me in the car. So apparently everything would have been fine if I had just gotten my wisdom teeth out when I was 18. So this is my PSA. If you don't take anything else from this video, please let this remain in your brain. Get your wisdom teeth out when you're 18 because 1, there's not as much bone damage as when you wait till you're older. And 2, you heal much faster. It's much easier to heal when you're younger. So I figured, my husband, he's 10 years older than I am, and he got his wisdom teeth out. He didn't have any problems. But my problem is that my jaw is way too small. I have a diagram to show you. Most people's teeth look like this. My teeth look like this. There's not enough space. It's very narrow, and my teeth all kind of lean inwards towards each other. My mouth is just too small for these wisdom teeth, and I should have gotten them out when I was 18, because now there's too much bone damage, and if we take out the wisdom teeth, there's not enough support for the molars. Now, this one, I did not know this. I'm sure the surgeon told me, but I must have been under sedation, and I didn't hear him or comprehend him, but this tooth down here is too close to my facial nerve, and they can't take it out without damaging the nerve. So again, I would have considered taking the 3 molars out to get out the wisdom teeth. Since my mouth is so small, I'm not going to miss those molars very much. I'd have to bring my chewing forward in the mouth a little bit, but this molar already has to go in 5 years anyway. So what's 2 more molars, honestly? It'll balance it out and make it even. So I would have considered taking out all of the molars to take out all of the wisdom teeth, but I didn't get a chance to discuss this with the surgeon because I was already knocked out before I was able to discuss this. So now I have questions like, do I need to do that? Do they have to be taken out to stop any more bone damage, or are they just going to leave them in so I can keep my molars? I don't want to call them up and set up another appointment for a consultation because this should have been discussed before doing the surgery. This wasn't surgery. I'm pretty sure they didn't have to cut my gums at all. I didn't need sedated. This is very frustrating. I've considered calling their district manager support lady to discuss this because I don't like how this went down at all. This should have been discussed before giving me the IV, and I don't think it was the nurse's fault. He probably didn't know that they were only taking out one tooth, and that's why I needed the sedation, because it was going to be all the teeth, and they were very much impacted, and it would have been an issue. I don't know, guys. I'm very annoyed about this, but I'm not annoyed enough to, like, complain and make them fix it, because you can't really fix it, so I don't know. I don't know what all they told my husband. He's kind of just giving me bits and pieces of information, so I'm still confused. I mean, it's healing beautifully. I am 5 or 6 days post dental appointment, and it is almost completely closed, and I didn't have any pain. I barely bled at all. I can't complain too much because everything is healing fine, and that's the most important thing here, is to make sure that I am, like, safe and healing fine. They did put me on antibiotics, and I think amoxicillin would have been fine for this since it was just one tooth, but they put me on something a little bit different than that. This is 4 days after I had the tooth pulled. This is today, which is 6 days after I had the tooth pulled, and it's healing so very well. Well, that's my wisdom tooth story. I'm sorry it's so boring and uneventful. It is what it is, and I guess I just keep the rest of my wisdom teeth until the rest of my teeth fall out. The way my husband was talking about it, it seems like maybe all my teeth are just going to end up falling out in 10 years and I'm going to have dentures by the time I'm 40. I don't know. They didn't tell me anything. They didn't write anything down. They didn't call me to follow up and tell me anything, so a very annoying experience from Aspen Dental. Maybe I should get a second opinion on the whole wisdom teeth issue. I don't know. Well, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, go get your wisdom teeth out before it damages your bone and before you have problems. Have a lovely day. See you later. Bye.